What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? How we doing? It's the Sports Wheelhouse here on a Tuesday night. I am Chip at Chip for the Birds and Umpire Stories, joined as always by JD from D2N Pods and Kegheads_TM, and he is hitting you with the Colorado. It's time.
It's time.
It's
Shadir
time.
Sanders. Shadir, what's up, man?
Shadir.
Shadir. Let's do this.
So again, we love doing this show. We took last week off because there was a big Phillies game right in the middle of it, and I was not going to do that. Luckily, this is the off night for Das Phillies, so away we go.
Facts. And what's funny is my dad's a big time Braves fan, so like
right.
I've been catching a lot of bad energy from that man because I'm pulling for the Phillies and whatnot.
Listen, I'll tell you what. After that game last night, I was in a funk all day today.
Really?
I'm gonna blame it on the Phillies entirely.
I mean, I'm not mad about it. So it is what it is.
It is what it is. So again, we got some topics. We trimmed the topics today, and we're off.
We did trim it down.
We trimmed it. And we are going to start with college football updates.
Ooh.
So it has been 2 weeks.
Yep.
And not a whole ton has happened in college football that is noteworthy, in my opinion, as far as some of the big players go.
There's been last week was the week of upsets, man. Like it was a lot of upsetting going on.
Take us away.
So I mean, for the most part, let me just go. I'm gonna grab my ESPN app real quick because I don't want to speak out of turn, but I want to make sure I get these games correct for last week in the NCAA. So last week was week 6, and in week 6 we had some movement here. The major teams win, but Oklahoma knocks off Texas.
Yeah,
in the Red River Showdown, and that was very noteworthy because Oklahoma was 12, Texas was 3. Texas was looking like they were finally going to get in the college football playoff, and those hopes are pretty much just, I feel like they're squashed. They were beat, and it was a shootout, and that's what that is. Another notable situation is USC went to 2 overtimes with Arizona. That was a huge thing for me as far as like the eye test when it comes to USC, because everybody's saying that USC is the primordial that's supposed to get in.
Well, including you. I mean, you kind of been down on USC a little bit too, other than the Caleb Williams-ness of it all.
Oh no, I don't. I think they're trash. I'm even this, and they barely scraped away. So I want to point these 2 things out, and I think this is noteworthy. No one's talking about it. Is the fact that Notre Dame was absolutely decimated by Louisville. they were taken to school, and so that gives Notre Dame their second loss, which then douses their chances to get into the college football playoff, which for me wonderful. I want them to lose every single game if possible. I can't stand Notre Dame. And then the last thing that I will say about college football that has been going on is that, first of all, North Carolina is still undefeated. So they need to put some respect on their name.
Wild.
Florida State is still undefeated. Put some respect on their name. And then Alabama is still right there waiting in the wings as they knock off Texas A&M 26-20 in the SEC showdown. So, listen, like there's a lot of people talking. And the funniest thing of the weekend, college football wise.
Wait, hold on.
What? Oh my God. I knew you were going to go there.
Go ahead. Tell the people.
Miami loses this game. And you look at the time and score. So we always tell our guys, look at time and score. The time is 42 seconds. They are up 20-17.
Georgia Tech has no timeouts.
0 timeouts.
Literally, you are 1-0 and this game is done.
They lose this game 23-20. Spoiler alert.
I don't know what Miami is doing.
That's it.
Okay, now, if you decide to do this, which you shouldn't, what is the one thing that cannot happen right now?
Fumble.
Cheney, the straight ahead, tackled, and the ball popped out.
You gotta read the clock. I mean,
I can't wait till they pan to Mario Cristobal. Like, that's the funniest part of the story.
Georgia Tech has it with 26 seconds left. Free to the field for King. Up in the pocket, gonna loop it down the field, and it's caught. And that's Rutherford. Here's King.
Here's the play.
From the pocket, flush to his right with 6. Foul.
The one thing can't let somebody get behind the defense. Oh, gosh.
Touchdown, Georgia Tech.
And look at the debris. Watch the debris come out of nowhere.
Must be in Philadelphia.
hey, like you should not be handing this football out. Like,
So here's my question. Is this a fireable offense?
Yes.
I agree.
Because you can't blame this on those kids.
No. That is like football 101. That has got to be a fireable offense.
And listen, it was not even the fumble that's even bad about this. I mean, the fumble's bad, but you should be in prevent. You should be in prevent so no one gets behind your defense and your corners and your safeties. Dude walked back there.
I mean, I could have made that pass. Let's just call it like it is. I could have made that pass.
My great grandmother could have made that pass, and she's been dead for 40 years.
So she wouldn't be rolling out; she'd be rolling over.
In her grave. Rest in peace, great grandma.
Yeah, I mean, that was the wildest thing I've seen in college football in a while.
That's sickening.
Okay, that's all that needs to be said.
Oh, but I wanted to say, yeah, but definitely pay attention to some of the narrative that's changing this next week or so in college football. Like all the primordial, the normal, blue bloods that's normally in there, like the Alabamas and stuff, are starting to kind of creep back in there because other teams are taking losses and they're just kind of holding steady with that one loss.
Right, which you said was going to happen as soon as it happened.
Yes, don't be surprised if Alabama does not find its way back in the college football playoff picture because of when they got beat and the time frame. The time frame is everything. These teams that are losing later on this season, those are going to be.
They have no time to make it up, right?
Yeah, it's going to be heavy on the committee's mind. So
now, as far as like some of these teams, I mean, obviously, you're going to have an Ohio State, Penn State game. You're going to have a Michigan, Penn State game. So that's going to eliminate somebody. You're going to have a Michigan, Ohio State. Like you have all these games still coming up. As of right now, who do you think is contender and pretender?
If I have to be completely honest, I think if I'm having to name the 4 best teams and maybe one that's on the outside looking in, I'm going to have to go Georgia, Michigan, Ohio State, and Florida State right now. That would be my 4. That'd be my steady 4. And then on the outside looking in, I would have to put like somebody like Alabama, just because I know their pedigree and they don't have a whole lot left to do in the season. They'll have the Iron Bowl. They'll have some times to kind of impress the committee. But some of these Pac-12 teams that they thought were all that, like Oregon still has a shot. I don't know where Oregon's ranked right now, but they still got a shot. So Oregon can impress the committee, but I think they're kind of learned their lesson about Oregon's and the Pac-12s. Like they're not gonna play any defense, and when it comes down to it, it's gonna be rough, man. It's gonna be rough.
All right, so this isn't necessarily a shenan, but scouts are saying that Marvin Harrison Jr. Worst case scenario is T. Higgins. Best case, he's Calvin Johnson.
Worst case scenario, best case scenario, he's.
Worst case, he's T. Higgins. Best case, he's Calvin Johnson.
Nah, I don't. T. Higgins is. I mean,
T. Higgins, when healthy, is a great player.
He's just been banged up, man.
His whole career.
I would say. I mean, I guess that's right. I mean, if my worst would be T. Higgins, then I mean that's pretty good. In the best case scenario, you're Megatron. So I mean, yeah. I mean sounds like to me like a compliment, but what do I know?
Two more college football type things that I want to just discuss. They've come up. So, number one, the Colorado Buffaloes were not insured.
Mm-hmm.
The Colorado Buffalo football team was not insured. So after Travis Hunter took his nearly career and life-ending injury, they had to scramble for insurance. And now Shadur Sanders has gotten insurance. I mean, how is a D1 school not insuring their athletes?
Well, you got to think about it. Like some of this stuff, and I made a little post about, finances and stuff when it comes to these places. Like everybody has a, mindset of what they think something is. Like everyone's not insured. Like some schools don't carry insurance, and some schools make you pay for your own insurance with their provider for college. Like I know some Division II schools, particularly, you pay something monthly or it's included in your tuition, and it's something that they pay as far as a deductible for you. But this is kind of weird that, that's one thing that was left out. And I don't know if it was just like a small oversight because they have so much other stuff going on, or if it was something that some teams don't carry. But I didn't play Division I football, so I don't know if how easy or how hard it is to, insure 70, 80
right.
people. I know basketball is a little different. I know everybody's insured basketball wise. It's not really that's not really strange to not be insured. To be insured by basketball, it's kind of normal to be insured for basketball.
And then the second thing, and this reminds me of just hilarity at LSU. The NCAA in recruiting trips has banned photo shoots for unofficial visits. So now you can't do the rotating 360 photo booth. You can't do the fancy photo booth again for unofficial visits. You can't do the here's your uniform and all that stuff. It has to be an official visit. There has to be proof of that. You care anything about that, or is NIL deal still not doing anything different?
No. So recently, this is big news on my end because I'm in the state of South Carolina, but Georgia has opened NIL up to high school students. Oh. So in the state of Georgia, you can, as a student, you can now start to receive NIL compensation as a
high school kid.
As a high school, so you can start having representation as early as high school, now. And so that just a game changer because we're only probably a year out of that same legislation for South Carolina. And, that affects me as a high school basketball coach because, it's hard to tell a high school kid anything now, but now you got to tell them that, and they're going to be making, some of them could be making upwards of, $100,000, $200,000 in high school. Depending on what car dealerships are going to be giving kids cars and all kind of stuff to endorse their products. So now this kind of changes the game, and it's something that we were always worried about, but now it should be regulated, so it should be a little different, but it's still going to be hard to get 16, 17, or 18-year-old to cool their jets when you're making more money than your coach.
Yeah, and they're not getting the cheap car. They're not getting like a Honda Accord, like a Volvo. They're getting cars that go vroom vroom, and they're even more dumb than the guys driving the vroom vrooms in the professional level.
And to take it back to the picture situation down here, that's a huge problem. The kids putting up the pictures of them on unofficial visits because it puts on the wrong impression. Because if you're taking those pictures, you might be on an unofficial visit and they let you put on their stuff, but those pictures are going up on your social media, so everybody thinks you're like this 5-star recruit, even though you might just be on a visit with someone else.
Right.
So, what I'm saying? You may be going with a 5-star recruit, but you're just a friend that came tagged along for the ride and got to put on the uniform. So,
and I always think when they're doing these signing days, and they've got all the hats, and they're like, oh, this hat, I'm not going to do that. Okay, now this hat, and they unzip the coat, and they're like, and they're like, no, just kidding. I'm like, guys, I get it that it's your moment and it's cool, but it's a spectacle.
Some of it is fun because it's
some of it is fun. I like when the parents walk out on them.
Yes, that only happened a couple of times, but yeah, it'd be a huge deal. The one guy, his mom started crying, and I'm like, man, I was gonna hate to be you at Sunday dinner.
Yeah, because you're supposed to discuss these things.
Facts.
So, all right, so that's just a little couple things from the world of the college to football. Back to the wheel. We have not had ourselves a conversation since the mega deal that went down.
Since Dame?
So we have not talked since Dame time. Moved to Milwaukee.
And divorced his wife.
And divorced his wife. All in one shot.
Listen, that man told his wife, it's cold. It's a cold summer out here. It's gonna be even colder because I'm not gonna have you. I'm moving to Milwaukee.
Yeah, he got rid of his loyalty all in one swoop.
Like, man, I'm not loyal to her no more. F them dudes over there. I'm done with them. Like, I'm riding. Like, I'm bringing a brand new. I'm coming all new. No new friends. All new friends. All new friends.
All right, Milwaukee's the best team in the East, hands down, right?
Yeah, I don't think it's close.
Like it's not even a competition. I mean, Miami didn't get Dame, which they needed. Jimmy Butler is rocking that hairstyle, and
Looks
the
like
night that
Naruto.
I will fall for you.
Listen, that boy out there looking like Naruto.
He's out there looking like he belongs in an Outkast music video.
That boy looked like he belonged in an anime book.
That man lost a fight with a curling iron, straightening iron.
My boy out here looking like he brothers and sisters with Prince and got his butt cheeks cut out his jersey.
We're bad people for this.
So my man, the one came in here looking like Andre 3000.
I already did the Outkast joke. I win.
I know. My boy out here looking like any black, any Bronner Brothers, manual from 1995.
My man, when he goes and plays the Celtics, he's going to be mistaken for Mark Wahlberg's brother in Four Brothers.
Oh, shoot. They said my man.
That's a deep cut there, guys.
My man out here looking like Money Mike on Friday the Next.
My man out there trying to replace Cat Williams.
My boy looking like a pimp named Slipback. I'm a pimp named Slipback.
I want to point out that we did not rehearse that.
No. Don't be sorry. Well, be careful.
So anyway, Miami is what Miami is. I saw something today that was like, oh, the Sixers are going to do this massive deal when Joel Embiid requests a trade. I'm like, listen, Joel Embiid's going to request a trade. It's obvious. James Harden tucked his tail and reported to camp because he didn't want to get fined. He's still going to slowly work himself back in. Stop it, sir. My man's de-thawing out the fat suit. Ben Simmons is out there doing his preseason dunks and his preseason shots. But I will say he does look better than he's looked in a while. I'll give him his credit.
I will tell you this. If Ben Simmons comes out and balls out in the beginning of the season, I want y'all to know. I told y'all this whole thing is falling on his head. This is Daryl Morey's fault.
A lot is becoming Daryl Morey's fault.
This is just like a bad deal after bad deal.
But again, I mean, it's the off season, so we know that this is the time where he doesn't necessarily. This is the time where he shows out and then disappears for a while. But I mean, again, I will say that he's definitely looking better than he has in a while. Problem is that team is just awful.
They're not that bad though. They're not as bad as we are. We waste them. We might
The
be
Sixers. The Sixers are bad. The Sixers we're bad.
Joel might fake an injury just so he don't have to play.
And then we go to the West,
where the West was won.
Yo, Phoenix. Scary. Bradley Beal, Booker, and Durant are all number ones on any other team.
I mean, I don't know how much defense is going to be being played, but they can outshoot anybody.
But they always do that in Phoenix. Phoenix, they're not known for their defense.
Yeah, I mean, you just got to find you a point guard in there. You need to find one point guard, somebody to facilitate.
Right, and speaking of point guards, Chris Paul I think he's going to do okay in Golden State.
He's
not going to need to score as much because he's got prolific scorers all around him.
And on top of it, the system that they run, it helps prolong Steph Curry. And you don't have to start Chris Paul. Chris Paul can play more of a role, kind of mentor some guys that he needs to mentor. And then towards the playoffs, you can kind of ramp up those minutes and maybe get him into the starting line, depending on how big or small the team is you're playing. But I think you just kind of at a disadvantage with him and Steph at the same time, defensively.
Yeah.
At least.
I think that the Lakers
they're decent.
But even LeBron is trying to pass off that Davis is the face of the franchise. Like, we all know that, but LeBron, it's you. And then we got to talk about some of these NBA deals that have been struck over the last couple of weeks. So first off, can we please discuss that Peyton Pritchard just got $30 million to back up Drew Holiday?
Yeah. I mean, the market is set so high at this point that, like, we're paying, like, look at us, we're paying Mr. Never Show Up. We're paying him a crap ton of money. Tobias Harris. So why would this be any different? He's no worse than Tobias Harris.
How about Devin Vassell? He just got paid a stupid amount of money for San Antonio.
Look at my face. I want you to look in the camera. This is the Tobias Harris effect. This is what they set the market with, that stupid pickup right there, and people have been making a stupid amount of money ever since. It's a dumb amount of money.
So you're way too early predictions. NBA Finals is who versus who?
Milwaukee shooting out the East, and possibly, just because I don't trust anybody else, probably Golden State. Just don't trust anybody else. I just don't know what version of Senate. I mean, or Utah. Utah still got a viable. Or Denver. I'm sorry, Denver. Is it Denver or Utah? Yeah, Denver.
It's Denver.
Denver. Yeah, Denver. So the Denver, or in my mind, Denver or the Golden State. It's still my two favorites out of the West.
All right.
They didn't need to get better. They were already better.
And they got better.
And they did get a little better.
All right. 4 remaining topics on the wheel. We're doing a quick show tonight. Shout out to Adam checking in. Shout out to E-Money checking in. Appreciate you. What we talking about, as E-Money wanted? The birds. The birds. Also known as, according to everybody, the minimum second or third best team in the NFL right now.
Listen, I don't listen to dummies.
Let them.
Listen, I don't listen to dummies.
Let them.
I know what I've been seeing.
What I've been seeing is a couple things. I've been seeing some injuries, which is concerning, of course. We're definitely more injured than we have been in previous years. What I am seeing is the best kicker in football.
Yeah.
Justin Tucker's the greatest kicker of all time. Jake Elliott is the best kicker in football.
I don't know. My boy's pretty good, too. My boy, the Boz. You know what I'm saying? Because he's all he can do
Your
is
boy,
kick.
the Boz, is good at throwing knockout haymakers.
And he be telling people to F off.
Woo. Well, because of anything you did, he
It
says
ain't
to Matt
because of you.
Canada.
It wasn't because of you.
I have seen an explosion in the run game.
Fast.
I have seen Jalen Hurts starting to settle in, and every week picking a favorite receiver, and that receiver gets to go off.
Mm-hmm.
Last week it was Dallas Goedert, finally. I have seen the defensive rookie of the year in Jalen Carter, Baby Rhino, just obliterating players. I have seen players coming in 3 days after being signed and shutting down good players. Thank you, Roby.
Yep.
I have seen Sirianni continue to coach the way he has always said he's going to coach. I have seen an Eagles team that has a destination for an NFC championship game against the San Francisco 49ers.
Oh, they're on a collision course, dog. Like, it is, and it's gonna be primetime football, brother. Like, it is gonna be strength versus strength. And listen, like, you put up this comment that Adams got too, but it's gonna be strength versus strength.
We have the Steelers section. We don't got to.
Okay. So we, so as you start looking at the landscape of, the NFC, they're not only on a crash course, it's who everybody wants to see. It's one of those NFC battles that you want to see because they both have good offenses and they both have good defenses. So it's just going to be whoever's got the best coach, and it's 2 young coaches on both sides. Like, it's that game, I'm circling that game whenever it does happen. It's going to be must-see TV, and I hope they're both undefeated going into it. Like, it will be a heavyweight battle for the ages.
It will be. And, we got teams like the Dolphins coming up. I mean, I don't think that there's anyone in the NFC East that can slow us down. We're going to get to that in a couple minutes. Everyone else in the NFC, I mean, it's just not – the Vikings are already starting to check out. The Packers show that they are not good. And I knew that. I told you Jordan Love was not the guy. I told you.
You did, but I didn't say you were wrong.
No one did. No one said I was wrong. No one said I was right either. I told you. So there's that. Who else in the NFC is even worse? The Bears? Nope.
They don't have
no one in the NFC East.
No. NFC least. NFC you least may get, depending on what version of the Cowboys comes to play, but it looks like
you're skipping the wheel. We got that on the wheel. You know we're going to talk about that.
Oh, okay, sorry about that.
Yeah. I think that, again, it's a collision course. And look, Brock Purdy is doing what he needs to do as far as winning games and relying on his playmakers, you know, having CMC and George Kittle, who wore his F Dallas shirt for the Dallas game, was amazing. And Deebo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk. And I mean, he's got players around him, and he's got a strong ass defense. He's got the best linebacker in football. I mean, he's got himself a squad. So all he's got to do is just not turn the ball over.
Yeah, he's a better version of Jimmy Garoppolo.
I agree.
I feel like he's a game manager, but he can also go. Like, he can also put that ball in some places. He's not asked to do a whole lot because he does have a great defense. So if he doesn't have to put himself in harm's way. If the ball is not something that's an easy check down play or something that's, you know, because he's got so many weapons, man. They got just as many weapons as the Eagles, and that's a huge thing. So I don't know.
So anyway, I love what the Eagles are doing right now. You know, we got a game coming up, you know, against the Jets, which I was hoping was going to be a better game. It won't be. And we're going to talk about that on tomorrow's, you know, weekly show, but it won't be. The Jets are bad. The Jets are real bad.
Yeah, they're stinky.
The Jets are real bad.
The Jets are real bad. The Giants are real bad.
The Giants are really bad.
The New England Patriots are really bad.
Bill Belichick is going to get fired at the end of the season.
I mean, I think Bill Belichick wants to get fired at the end of the season.
I don't think he does, but I mean, he's not going to get fired during the season because, you know, it's Bill Belichick. That's wrong. But I think that he's going to be a consensus decision to move on from Bill Belichick at the end of the season.
Sheesh. I think he's going to want to be done. Like, I don't think it's like anymore. There's no more. Like, at this point, like, you're just doing it for fun. Like, he's just there because he's there. He's
just there so he don't get fined?
I mean, yeah, you can say that. Ron Rivera has no team anyway. So like,
Ron Rivera is absolutely going to get fired.
Ron Rivera, it's not his fault.
Yes, it is. Hold on. Before we get into Dallas, it is absolutely his fault because he does have good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. He's got Brian Robinson. He's got Terry McLaurin. He's got
Gibson.
Antonio Gibson, who's okay. I mean, he's got Jamar Dotson from Penn State. I mean, he's got some players. Listen, he's got a quarterback who's learning how to play. His defense, in theory, should be stout. Ron Rivera, the only success he had as a head coach was when he had Cam Newton. Logan Thomas, thank you, Javier. Yeah, listen, Ron Rivera's getting fired at the end of this year.
Ron Rivera may get fired, but
Eric Bieniemy is not going to be replacing him.
Listen, it's not Bieniemy's fault.
Nope.
It is not Ron Rivera's fault. This is a bad football team. They're a bad football team. And some of it is because they have a very young quarterback that is making some really questionable decisions. And with him making those questionable decisions, like he's not able to keep the team on track. So you can have all those weapons, but if he's doing it wrong, he's doing it wrong. Like there's nothing he can do any different. Like he's got to learn. He's got to get to where he's better. And he's not better yet. He will be, but he's not there yet.
Yeah, he's not bad. I'll give Sam Howell his credit. He's not bad.
He's very Baker Mayfieldish. I will tell you that. I feel like he's a Walmart or great value. He's a great value Baker Mayfield. So like if you want to take that in consideration, then I think you give him a couple more. Give him a couple more. Give him another year. I think Ron Rivera gets another year, but I do not think Bill Belichick does.
Yeah, no. And then we talk about
favorite time of the month,
Dallas.
Man, they normally turn back into a pumpkin around playoff time.
We talk about the cycle, right? We talk about the cycle. And I didn't realize we were already in that portion of the cycle where they play like absolute donkey poop.
Yeah, I mean, they're not only in that cycle right there, but they're not only in that cycle, they're in the cycle to the point where like it usually happens later on in the season. Like they have this Cinderella start every year. They go like maybe they're like 4 or 5-0. They haven't had any real like indication that they're gonna blow up yet. And then all of a sudden they blow up. Well, this year, there's all these indications they're gonna blow up. They got mad dudes, like they already got injuries.
Mike McCarthy needs to be fired. Number one, Mike McCarthy needs to be fired.
The first firing that needs to happen is Jerry Jones. He needs to fire
Jerry Jones
himself.
won't ever. Nope. Jerry Jones won't fire. Hits his team. It's Jerry's world.
He needs to fire himself. That will be the first change.
Yeah, well, they're calling for Trey Lance already, which is hysterical. He's not the guy. He's definitely not the guy. But Dak Prescott is not the guy either.
Yeah, I just want to be completely honest about this whole thing, and I just want to call a spade a spade. When you hype up a guy, and the thing about it, that nothing has happened, but they lost Trayvon Diggs. That's it. Like he's the only difference. We already know, like they were who they said he was. Like that's why they didn't want to pay Dak all those years ago. Like he knew this was coming down the pipeline. He got bullied into paying him because he got hurt on their watch, and he got bullied by the media and other people. And when he got bullied, they went ahead and paid him, but they know good and well that Dak's not the guy. Dakota is not the guy.
Dakota is not the guy. And then you look at the rest of it and like, okay, so they signed Stephon Gilmore so he would be able to balance off Trayvon Diggs, and that's not going to happen. And Van Der Esch is hurt again, very Sean Lee-like, and they can't run the ball and they can't pass the ball. CeeDee Lamb's getting 3-4 targets a game. They don't have a great tight end. Pollard is doing what he can, but again, now it's not a part of a two-headed attack. It's just Pollard. And this Dallas team got straight up mollywopped by a actual class of the NFC. And I loved it.
There's a situation I want to bring this to you real quick before we get off Dallas. Is every single year
why San Francisco didn't?
Hurtful. Like when you have this like this period of time where we've had guys who have wanted Dallas to be good for like a majority of the time, and so every year the national media says, okay, they got a good team. But if you recall last year, they hadn't made any changes or to be a better team. Like they only subtracted, and they didn't. It wasn't addition by subtraction. They just subtracted. And they got rid of Zeke and they offloaded some guys, and everybody was like, okay, they're going to be a better team.
No,
one indication, they beat some bad teams. They beat some bad teams, and then did they lose to Arizona?
No, they beat Arizona.
Arizona. Didn't Arizona beat them? Pretty sure Arizona beat them.
Games. Hang on. Yeah, they beat them 28-16. They sure did.
Okay.
The Cowboys had beat the Raiders, who are bad.
A bad team.
Oh, that was preseason. I'm sorry. They whooped on the Giants, who are atrocious. They beat the Jets in their first week without Aaron Rodgers.
Beat them.
They
bad.
lost to the Cardinals.
Yep.
They beat a Patriots team that is atrocious, and they got slapped silly by the 49ers.
So let's just be honest. Out of all those teams, the teams that they have beat are probably going to end up with losing records. So there's that. And then on top of that, the team that's actually tanking or trying to tank, you still couldn't beat them because they put up a fight. Come on, man. Like, let's do this. Like, let's be honest about this. Like, Dallas isn't a good team. They're not run good. They don't have good coaching. They don't have good players. They're run badly. They have a bad franchise manager. And as far as I'm concerned, Jerry's team will never play in Jerry's world in a meaningful game. That will be.
And don't get me wrong. I think that when it comes time for the Eagles to play them, I think that the games are going to be slobber knockers, as JR used to say, because they will be because it's an Eagles-Dallas game. So Dallas will get up for that.
It's not about them getting up for it.
It's also about the Eagles not playing down.
What time is it? Is it 10 o'clock yet? Oh, it's almost 10 o'clock. Okay, I can say this. It's like a man who loves his wife, but he's an older gentleman, and he wants to get up for the game. However, he doesn't have Hims. And so, Hims, if you want listening to this, give us a sponsorship. Thank you. But
give JD a sponsorship. I'm fine. Thank you very much.
No, it's not for like I don't want the drugs. I'm younger than you, Chip. I'm a young man. But if you can't get to the dance.
If you can't get to Jerry's World,
yeah.
Invest in Jerry's Swirl.
Yep, Hims. Make sure you use it.
Yeah,
Blue
Dallas sponsored by the Blue Chew.
By the Blue Chew. They are the Blue Chew.
They are the Blue Chew.
Because if your team can't get up, they will for them. There's not a blue star for no reason.
The preceding segment has not been approved by the All About the Birds Network. Thank you.
I don't know about Gannon.
Yeah, Gannon is the real MVP. Okay, finally he got up for a game that we needed him to. Go away. Sorry, Javier. I'll never forgive Jonathan Gannon for the Super Bowl. He flat out he was not ready for Kansas City in a game that we should have won.
Listen, y'all, like a lot of people are ready for Kansas City. Don't blame them for that. And they got the Swifties now. So what are we gonna do about that? Swifties. It's like Tyrone Biggums.
Looking like Jimmy Butler at a Sunday dinner.
Chappelle Show. Here these guys.
It's Red October, y'all.
I'm pissed off.
It is Red October, y'all. All right, so the Phillies are built for the playoffs. It's just the way it is. The Phillies are built for the playoffs. They've got a lineup that can put up a ton of runs any game. They've got decent starting pitching for the most part. We're going to find out tomorrow. My personal thoughts about certain players that are taking the mound tomorrow that we need to get a win. Yeah, Nola's pitching tomorrow. So on Adam Mack's Frankly Phil show, I did concede that Aaron Nola is an ace. Because you know me, I'm a bandwagon. I'm not a bandwagon. I have been hitting this hammer for years now. However,
why are you saying that? Like, what are you doing?
However, and Javier is surprised by it too. What I then followed up with is he's like the blackjack aces, where it's either an actual ace or worth a 1.
I get what you're saying, but
that's the only ace that Aaron Nola is.
I'm glad that you said that because I was starting to get worried. Like,
yeah, look, the comments are rolling in very. Yeah, he's a blackjack ace. Okay. He's either an 11 or a 1. That's what it comes down to.
Whatever you need, but we need the big boys.
Yeah, we need the 11 tomorrow because Red October, it's going to be rocking tomorrow. We can't go back to Atlanta in this series. You know, we while game 1 was absolutely masterful as far as managing goes, game 2 was a little shakier. You know, you sent Wheeler back out there after he lost the no-hitter again and the shutout. And again, I get it because they had already seen the bullpen because of your choices that you made in game 1. I understand that. But you use some of the guys in your bullpen that just weren't the guys. Trey Turner had a rough game. The base running error by Harper. Look, we love how aggressive he is on the base paths, but you know, he made a mistake. We let them come back and win that game. With that being said, it's going to sit for 24 hours. Hopefully they're already moving past it because now they're going to the most hostile environment in Major League Baseball. And I personally can't wait to watch this game tomorrow. I think that we win the next 2 games. I do. I think the Philadelphia Phillies win the next 2 games and get ready for the Dodgers in the NLCS.
I want to be completely honest. I don't think the Dodgers are going to be there.
No?
Nah, the Dodgers do this every year. They do this every year. They get us all excited.
No, not getting us excited. If they don't make it there, that's fine. I seen the Phillies there.
This is hurtful. All right, let's just throw this out there, and I'm gonna be done with it. Me being here near Atlanta, I realized that because I'm here near Atlanta, like I got to deal with a lot of like Atlanta fans. My dad's a Atlanta fan, and he's been giving me a hard time. My dad's also a Dodgers fan, so like he's My dad's been a Dodgers fan his whole life, I think.
All right.
So he's been around. But there's been some talk about at the house that Atlanta will beat them. But it is what it is.
I mean, here's the thing. If Atlanta survives the Phillies, okay, because the Phillies for 15 innings shut down a very potent Atlanta defense or offense, excuse me. So if they get to that point and they do somehow beat the Phillies, good on them.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to win the World Series. If Atlanta gets by the Phillies, they will win the World Series. I firmly believe that. With that being said, the next 2 games for Atlanta are really, really tough because they are coming into Citizens Bank Ballpark in October, in the middle of Red October.
I think the Phils have a good chance of making it. They should have took care of business the other day. The fact that my man didn't go tag up is some rookie shit. Like it was,
but look, like how you're saying, I don't blame him on the base running. I love the aggressiveness. And again, not a lot of guys make that catch.
I hear what you're saying, but you still got to tag up.
I agree. He was already around second, halfway to third.
Yeah, you already third. Like, I mean, I get you're trying to be aggressive, but damn, man, like the chances of you not getting it is the problem. That's the problem.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. I mean, it was definitely a base running blunder. There's no doubt. The ball looked like it was going to drop. The ball looked like it was carrying or could potentially go. I mean, it
could go, but then like when I saw it, like I don't know what angle you guys had, but like my angle, I was like, yo, this dude's got to get hauled down. He's gonna get this ball, and like I was like, and I yelled out in the screen, I was like, got to tag up. From all my endeavors with Chip on these damn shows, I now know about the tagging up. Like and as soon as he didn't tag up, I was like, he didn't tag up. He's trying to get back. He's not gonna make it. He's not gonna make it. So,
I mean, like I said, I think that the next 2 games are going to be enjoyable to watch, and we're going to kind of go from there.
I'm with you guys. I'm hoping that everything works out.
Last segment is your segment. It's the Stillers. Talk about your boys. Your terrible, terrible team.
They're terrible, but somehow, and this is what pisses me off about the Steelers. If we're going to be a bad team, then be a bad team. Don't be a decent team because you get not good picks. Like if you're
need them,
and we need them. Like I'm so tired of little hands. Like if there's any,
wait, you were the biggest fan of Little Hands.
I wasn't. I wasn't. Stop doing that. We're not doing that. Like we know that he eats sliders because he can't handle big burgers. Like, but at the end of the day, like they're playing their hearts out. I mean, Mike Tomlin's not going to do anything where he doesn't put out a winning season. Like I get it, but I think at this point in the game where we're at with Mike Tomlin is he's got a pitcher get off the pot, and we can't keep having these.
And that's
we can't even have.
You guys are going to use your running back. He's killing in fantasy. Yeah. Oh, Najee Harris is killing somebody in fantasy.
Listen, the problem with Najee Harris is if you use him too much, he gets banged up and he cannot be there for you at the end of the season. And on top of it,
fantasy. Najee Harris. I am in a fantasy football league. I was offered a trade this fine evening.
I told him not to talk about this, y'all.
But Javier brought it up.
He didn't bring it up. He brought up his running back in fantasy.
Nick, what's going on? It's Nick. Nick Marcus. Hey, buddy. One of my campers is checking in. Hey, dude.
Javier, the issue isn't that you picked them up. You just picked them up on a week that they're not going to use them. Like, they're going to have to use them any other time.
Is the week the 2023-2024 season?
Maybe.
All right, so I'm in a fantasy football league, and there's a guy who's in last place currently in the league, and he's trying to do some wheeling and dealing. Some other guys are trying to do some wheeling and dealing, and I have stashed. So my starting quarterback is Josh Allen. I've stashed away Brock Purdy, right? So people want some Brock Purdy, and again, I just stashed him away because he's got some weapons. He's going to put up some numbers, and Josh Allen is eventually going to have to take a week off, and I'll take some Brock Purdy at that point. And I was offered a trade today, and I would give up Brock Purdy and in return receive Dak Prescott and Jonnu Smith. I say good day. I say good day. I say good day.
Say good day, sir.
I say good day. I'm not giving up a starting quality quarterback in this league for a backup tight end and Dakota.
It's a good day, sir.
I say good day. And then I was texted, well, what do you want for him? And I said, I could use some running backs. To which I was offered the following deal. I would still give up Brock Purdy. I would also give up KJ Osborne. In return, I would receive Dak Prescott and Najee Harris. To which I say, absolutely not. Because with Justin Jefferson going on the IR, excuse me, not baseball, the IR, KJ Osborne's numbers are about to go up. I mean, it's going to happen. Him, Madison, the other dude, I'm blanking on his name right now. I mean, they're all everybody who's not Justin Jefferson on the Vikings, TJ Hawkinson. I mean, these guys, their numbers are going to go up. So I'm not getting rid of a KJ Osborne. But Najee Harris. No.
This is what it is, Najee.
It's just no. Look, the Steelers. The problem is that they talk about how they haven't been under 500 in how many years?
It's been a long time.
But why is the goal 500 in Pittsburgh?
Because we know we're not good enough to win. We're not good enough to win at all. So it's like
then they got to do something else.
I'm very disheartened at this point, Chip. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
I'll let you know that this same gentleman who offered me this trade has Austin Eckler and Tony Pollard as his starting running backs. And Jeff Wilson, who is going to be coming off IR. So it's like, maybe that one. But not for no Brock Purdy.
Hot trash juice.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't know what to tell you.
Wait, hold on. Live real-time trade offer.
Why are you still trading people?
No, same league, different guy. I would trade away Breece Hall.
No.
Thank you. For Jahmyr Gibbs and Jamison Williams.
Like, are these people in your league like not smart dudes or like,
I don't know.
Are they not smart dudes?
Because here's the thing, right? My starters right now are Josh Allen, AJ Brown, Deebo Samuel, Breece Hall, Jonathan Taylor, TJ Hawkinson, and KJ Osborne. I'm about to make my run.
Are they not smart dudes?
No, thank you.
I think you should hold on what you got.
I'm going to hold on to what I got for now. I'm going to let everybody else. Oh, I also have Justin Tucker as my kicker. And I'm about to be completely offloading the New England defense. Because they don't have one.
This is very hurtful.
Sorry, they don't. Anything else you got to talk about in the sports world tonight?
No.
Cool.
No. We got to end it on this fantasy football tip.
Listen, I won all 3 of my games last week. I'm making my comeback. I stashed Jonathan Taylor. I took my lumps in the first couple of weeks because I knew he would make a comeback. I have Josh Allen. I've got a Jalen Hurts. I've got some guys. So I feel like my run is coming.
Can't do this. Just can't.
Whatever, dude. That league that you were in with me last year, I'm still holding my trophy for that. So,
dude, I didn't even do that league.
You didn't even sign in.
I was a layup. I had real life money on the line in this other one. So.
All right. Well, tomorrow night, Wednesday Night Live, the Wednesday weekly show with Johnny and myself here on the AAT Sports Network, talking Eagles Jets. We are running that bus trip this weekend. It is sold out to go up to Jet Life Stadium and laugh and point at Zach Wilson.
Just makes you hide your mouth.
As he runs for his life because now his starting tackle is done for the year too.
Have you guys put out a disclaimer to not bring any wives or mothers?
Oh, I didn't sign up for this trip for a reason.
Oh, okay, because he's going after all wives and mothers.
All wives and all mamas.
If you were a mother or a wife.
And That's what I got. You got anything cool?
No, almost basketball
Cool.
season.
It is almost basketball season. I got to get the voice ready for announcing.
I gotta get my voice ready for coaching.
At some point, I'll be done umping baseball. I got 8 games this weekend.
You did tell me that. That's pretty.
I got
good.
2 Friday, 5 Saturday, 1 Sunday.
I would just like to throw this out there that we were able to get this done in less than an hour. So
Yes, we did.
Toodaloo.
I'm Chip.
I'm Drip.
Okay, bye.
Toodaloo.